Yo, what the heck is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Net here, and in today's daily video, we're going to be talking about if the last player standing two cast all had colors, which colors would they play on? Okay, and so I know that this is something that people have been talking about, people have been wondering, um, mostly because we didn't get colors in that last player standing season two. Um, we got like teams kind of, but we didn't actually get wool colors. And so now we're gonna see like, well, who's gonna be on what color, and so this is gonna be a fun little bit of a thought experiment. Um, and so we're actually gonna go by alphabetical order, and so that's the way they're gonna be chosen, because I think in my head, that's how Happy and Kaj would have done it, because that's the only fair way. We can't really do it off of previous game show placements because we've played so many shows, and you wouldn't know which ones to really take precedent over other shows, and things of that nature. And so yeah, so we're going to do it by alphabetical order, but also to those who are very astute and very numbers people, um, you'll notice that there are 16 wool colors in Minecraft, but there's actually 21 players in this season. And so you'll see what I'm going to do for those. You'll see what I come up with. But without further ado, let's get into it. And so, ooh, a stone sword. All right. The first person to pick their color is going to be Falcon King Brian. All right. And so we're going to keep track of the colors in my head. Maybe I'll write it down, actually. I'm going to write down the colors here. So I have a pen and I have a paper. So we're actually going to write down the colors. And so Brian is actually going to be the first up, and let's see. He's going to be okay. Well, I just died. Brian is going to be red. Okay, and that is because this is his iconic strikeout color from, which is obviously the franchise where he is most known from. Brian is red, but there are some notable cast members on this season who also participate under the red color. That being Karfty, who's actually up next to pick. And let me see, anyone else from this cast usually play as red? No, it doesn't seem like it. And so I'm actually going to take a moment to write down all the colors in Minecraft that I can think of. So while you're sitting here, be sure to comment, as I'm writing down these colors, be sure to comment your predictions for the colors for the cast, okay? And then we'll see how many we get the same. Obviously, you don't know what I'm going to do for some of these because there are 16 colors in Minecraft, 21 cast members. So just do your best and try to write down what you think. So you don't have to pause the video here. We'll just kind of do this together. It'll be like an open forum kind of situation where you can kind of plan out, and I'll be also writing down colors here. Because obviously there's a lot of colors in Minecraft, and so we want to make sure we get them all. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What other colors in Minecraft am I missing? Okay. So I'm okay. No, I forgot. There's a big hitter color there that I missed. And then let me just look up Minecraft wool colors. So I hope you're still doing a good job here, writing down what you think the predictions are going to be. I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a kind of a crazy video here. Okay. Oh, okay. Of course, I forgot magenta. Okay, cool. So I hope you kind of had your time to figure it out, because I certainly didn't. You can pause the video now, but let's get into the second color. And so the next person who's going to be choosing their color is going to be Karfty. And Karfty, now that red has been chosen, Karfty is going to be a little bit upset because that's his main color, but he will make do with another color. And the color that Karfty is going to choose is going to be black. Off the top of my head, I can't really tell you in what shows Karfty has played as black in. Maybe Strikeout in the past. but I know he's also played on red. I'm going to leave this lobby because I don't know what the fuck is going on. So Brian is red, Carfi is black. Those are two pretty like aura colors that have been taken so far. Third is going to be Sea Dog, and Sea Dog is going to take white. Okay. Um, just because obviously that doesn't need to be said. Sea Dog has played as white multiple times in Strikeout, and he's a panda. His skin is white as well. So CGQ actually gets to pick next, and I know that green is a color in this cast that was highly contested by multiple people. Well, not contested, but there's a lot of people on the green team, gang green, green gang, and obviously they're named that way because they all wore the color green, but also because I know a lot of the members on that team prefer playing as green in this season. And so CGQ, because luck of the draw, his name starts with a C. He gets to pick first. He's gonna be the one to pick green and steal it from these other people, namely Loge, namely Riley, namely Lambo, right? All members of that green gang team. So who's up next to pick? CJ. So now this is when the twist is gonna come up, and then you're gonna see um, kind of what I'm thinking here. Um, so sorry, I'm just writing down my genius ideas down. So then CJ is you'd think CJ's gonna pick a color like maybe light blue, maybe yellow, strikeout colors, such like that. No, CJ is going to be the first to pick one of these rare colors or patterns. Sorry, that we were introducing into this season. So he's gonna pick um, lines. So CJ is gonna be playing as the lines, and so um, he doesn't have a color. He has like a pattern, and his pattern is lines. Let's play Sky Wars, and his color's gonna be lines. His color's not gonna. His pattern's gonna be lines. Okay, his pattern's gonna be lines. So who's up next picking? Commando. And so Commando is also one who sometimes picks white, sometimes picks red. I believe he was red in Strikeout. Is that right? I might be misremembering. Maybe he was just wearing the red Buster. But of all these options, Commando is going to pick. He's also going to choose another one of the patterns. He's not going to go for a color here. Commando is going to pick plaid. Kind of like a flannel kind of vibe we're getting here. Commando is going to pick the plaid, and he's going to represent plaid in this season. Next up picking is Dan. And Dan picks a lot of different colors when he plays. Sometimes he's red. He was red in Strikeout one time. Sometimes he's pink. Sometimes he's purple, magenta, all these sort of colors. But I think Dan is going to go for purple. That's purple off the board. Infernox. What color is Infernox going to pick? Infernox usually picks yellow in these shows, and so I think Infernox will pick yellow. But after hearing that there are some other people on this cast who play as yellow sometimes, namely me, I think Infernox would be the kind of nice guy to give up that color, and he'd be like, okay, well you can take it if you don't want it. And so I think that's actually what's going to happen, is that he's going to be like, oh, well I know Net likes yellow because like we're cool friends like that, and so I'm going to pick this other color. He's also going to take one off the board from the patterns group, and he's going to play as chevrons. So Infernox is actually going to play as chevrons because that is one of his favorite kind of shapes. So next up picking is Jolts. And Jolts, to be honest with you, Jolts, I forget if you are more of a pink or more of a magenta person. And I'm sorry if that makes me a bad friend because I can't quite remember. I think you would have gone purple if that was an option, but Dan took purple. Kalen is picking next, and Jolts Kalen picks pink a lot of the time. Kalen was pink in Strikeout. And so I don't know if Jolts is going to pick magenta over pink. So we'll say Jolts is actually going to pick. Oh man, this is tough. Jolts is going to pick pink because Jolts is thinking LPS. I'm not going to, pick as someone else. Like, I'm not going to pick because someone else wants the color I was going to pick. I'm going to pick the fucking color I want. It's LPS2. And so Jolts is going to be playing as pink. And then next up, obviously, Kalen is going to be picking. And so the way Kalen is going to be picking his color is he's thinking, well, pink got taken. I don't know, like, these other colors aren't really speaking to me. What else do we got? We got, what, like brown, lime, gray, blue, light blue, orange. Kalen doesn't really identify with any of those sorts of colors. And so Kalen is going to also pick one of the patterns, and Kalen is going to be polka dots. So that leaves one more, for those who are, attentive, that leaves one more of these like mysterious patterns left on the board for someone to pick if they don't want to be a color. So then Lambo is up next picking, and obviously Lambo he would have chosen green if that was an option. But Lambo is going to pick lime because that's what's up next for him, and it's closest to green. So Lambo's going to be like, okay, I'm going to pick lime. And, well, whoop-de-doo. Look who's up next, Loge. And so Loge is iconically green. He is a green guy. But for those who are astute, none of the colors left on the board are actually green. We got colors, so for those who are attentive or aren't attentive, I'm going to name out the colors we have left. We have blue, light blue, gray, light gray, yellow, cyan, brown, orange, magenta, and one mystery pattern. So I think given these options, Loge is going to take gray because it is kind of a neutral color. And, I just feel like Loge, if he can't get green, he's going to go for, the next muted color, something kind of under the radar-ish color. And he's going to go for gray. So next up is me. And obviously I'm going to pick yellow because Infernox saved it for me because he's such a nice guy. So I'm going to play as yellow. Next, we got Presto. And so Presto, I'm getting vibes Presto is going to play as Cyan this season. Blue is also a big hitter color that is up for grabs at this moment in time. However, looking at the rest of the cast, who's going to pick up next, Presto, he's like thinking, I'll play Cyan. Presto's thinking, I like the Cyan color. Presto's going to be Cyan. And so I'm sorry that the gameplay really isn't that interesting. I am looking at my notebook IRL, but maybe I'm gonna put some cool edits on the screen, to make you guys interested. Or maybe okay, never mind. I'm just gonna stop talking. So next up we got Remote, and Remote's gonna pick orange because orange is left on the board, so he's gonna go orange. So that's pretty easy. After Remote we have Riley, and Riley is another one of those people who. He wouldn't mind playing as blue, so Riley is going to pick blue. Blue is finally off the board. Riley is picking blue. We have Robe up next, the giraffe. Who's the giraffe going to play as? So we got light blue left, we got light gray, brown, magenta, and we got the mystery, this last mystery kind of pattern. So Robe is going to pick magenta, just off vibes. I feel like Robe would pick magenta here. Next up picking is Striker. And, what would Striker pick? I think Striker would go for... There's not a lot of great colors left on the board here, folks. Striker's going to go light gray. Okay. And that is because Striker, he's also playing kind of an under-the-radar game. He was the host of the previous Last Player Standing, and... he doesn't want to pick one of these colors, such as light blue, such as gray, or such as brown. These colors that are associated with big hitters, big, demon-type players. He's going to pick light gray and kind of play more of a subtle role in this season. Next up is 3, and 3 is going to pick brown because he's not going to be playing light blue. He's going to be brown. Next up picking is Toto. And so now this is when the next surprise, the final pattern shows up. Toto is actually going to be playing as the spades. I know it's kind of like, wait, why spades? Why that? But that's just what they had for the season. So you don't ask me. I didn't host the fucking season. Happy and Kosh hosted the fucking season. So it wasn't me. And then finally, last but not least, Unique. Last one to pick, but he does get a color that he is kind of a bit associated with, light blue. He played as light blue in Strikeout Game Show Season 11. And so, yeah, there we go. That is all of the cast. They have their own colors / patterns. I'm going to go through it one more time. So Brian is playing on red. Carfy is on black. Sea-Dog is on white. CGQ is playing green. CJ is on lines. Commando is on plaid. Dan is on purple. Infernox is playing chevrons. Jolt's on pink. Kalen is on polka dots. Lambo is on lime. Loge is on gray. I'm on yellow. Presto's on cyan. Remote's on orange. Riley's on blue. Robe's on magenta. Striker's on light gray. 3 is brown. Toto is on spades. And Unique is on light blue. And that is your cast of Last Player Standing Season 2. And so I hope you all enjoyed this freaking video. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch y'all in tomorrow's freaking video. Goodbye.